in my top 5 mistakes for beginners when it comes to training, kind of put on muscle, bodybuilding, dieting. Starting off, we're going to go with too much volume. More volume doesn't mean more growth. More volume might mean more stimulation. So like, yeah, okay, we're doing more, we're going to stimulate more growth. But then the thing is it worth you being able to recover? When you're trying to train, what you want to do is you want to stimulate the muscle as much as you can to grow, which when you're doing that, you're sending signals to your brain, okay, we need to grow the muscle, whatever. But we don't want to fatigue ourselves too much because the muscle fibers break down. Muscle fibers breaking down doesn't mean growth. Stimulating a muscle and breaking down a muscle isn't the same thing. Otherwise, marathon like runners would be huge. It'd be insane. Their quads would be massive because those guys are like running for hours. They're absolutely destroying. So you want to stimulate the muscle, but then not fatigue it too much so that then you can train it again sooner, so then you can stimulate it again. An example of this could be someone that trains legs once a week and goes absolutely crazy, and they have to wait a whole week to recover to then like be able to train your legs again. The person that trains their legs medium hard and then waits 3-4 days, recovers fully and trains them again is going to be able to stimulate more growth for a longer period of time than the person that just absolutely shred their muscles like once a week and then they do nothing. More volume doesn't mean more growth. Just try do 2 or 3 sets is my recommendation, and then see what you recover from. Find out how much volume works for you. When I say volume, I mean the amount of sets. Number 2, cutting when it's not needed or bulking when it's not needed. So a lot of guys be like, do I need to bulk? Do I need to cut? Have you even been in the gym for like 2 months? If you haven't, I'm not sure if you need to. Yes, okay, if you're like plus 25% body fat, right? So you have no form of abs, absolutely nothing. You've been training for a while. You should probably like go on a cut. It'll be a good idea. If you're just like normal level of body fat for a guy, like anything between, let's say 22, 23, maybe just chill for a bit and just see what happens. See, like learn how to train, get your diet in order, and then worry about cutting and bulking. The whole thing is what I'm trying to avoid is when someone that's new to the gym goes into crazy diets and stuff, it's not going to be very sustainable for most people. Okay, there's going to be some of you guys that the second you get into the gym, you're like, yep, I'm going to go on a crazy diet. I'm going to get to 7% body fat and I'm going to be fine. And then there's other people that'll try to do that, and then they'll develop an eating disorder. Just chill for a little bit. Train for like 3, 4, 5 months. Figure out what's going on. Yes, get 1 gram per pound of body weight. Get all the vitamins, get all the nutrients you need, all that type of stuff. You don't need to go into a crazy cut or a crazy bulk. Sometimes I see skinny guys that want to go into a crazy bulk. If you're skinny fat, you should probably still go on a cut instead of going on a bulk. You can build muscle when you're a newbie while cutting because your body's just so sensitive training that your body will just grow. A lot of my clients, I had one of my clients, he didn't train for 15 years. It was like mid-40s. We went on a cut. We did a 6-month cut. He managed to grow muscle while losing like, I think he lost like 12 kilos of fat. Well, 12 kilos of weight loss. Some of it will be water, but a lot of fat was in there as well. For most people, usually I say cut first, just to get hungry, get your insulin sensitivity up so your body's actually like drawing nutrients from the food you're eating, and then bulk up. Number 3, overeating or under-eating protein is a really big one, especially for people that are like new to the gym and they look at everything online and it's like protein yogurt, protein powder, extra protein, like 3 times the amount of protein in the protein. Like, yeah, okay, you need protein. You don't need like 500 grams of protein. You're not Eddie Hall. And even Eddie Hall, I don't know if he needs 500 grams of protein. Yeah, and then there's people that just don't care. They'll weigh like 100 kilos. They're like 6'5" or something. And they're training so hard, they're doing so much cardio. 60 grams of protein, half of that will be from like sweet potato. You're not going to be able to recover efficiently like that or grow muscle efficiently. Protein's 1 gram is what I do. I do 1 gram per pound of body weight. There's so many different recommendations, but that's kind of what works for me. This is going to be a bit TMI, but if you're eating protein, you're getting crazy protein farts. You're having too much protein. Your body's struggling to process that protein. You also might want to add more fiber to your diet. I've noticed that it's a kind of a thing with a lot of my clients when I first start, they're not getting enough fiber. So try look into some fibrous stuff. Sweet potato is always pretty solid for me. It's also a solid like source of carbs. But yeah, if you're getting crazy protein farts, you're eating too much protein. 1 gram per pound of body weight, but you weigh 200 pounds, 200 grams of protein. If at 200 grams of protein, you're getting crazy fast, take off 10 grams of protein. You shouldn't be, but I'm just saying, let's like keep our digestion well. Maybe you're getting extra protein from something else that you don't know. Maybe like you didn't think the oats had protein. There's hella protein in the oats. Oats do have a lot of protein. Also yogurt. So don't overeat for your protein. Don't undereat your protein. Figure out if you make something unbelievably hard and unsustainable, how are you going to keep on track for a long period of time? The whole point of what we want to do is we want to change our life for a long period of time in a good way. We want to start training. And we want to train for a bunch of years if we can and keep healthy, keep our joints healthy. Like mentally become stronger. Yes. Like I agree with that. I agree. Like some people are like, I do cold showers. I don't care about any of the benefits or any of the negatives of the shower, right? I just do it because it helps me mentally. Like I feel more in control. It helps me like go through stuff that's difficult. If you're going to do it like that, I understand. If you're doing something and you're making it harder because you're doing it for the like mental benefits, yeah, I understand fully. But then if you're doing it because you think it's going to tap into some instinct genetic mutation and you're going to turn into Wolverine, grow up. For the mental benefits of being able to go through hard stuff and whatnot, I understand. Overdoing supplements is number 5. Everyone's looking on the internet and everything they see on the internet, Shilajit and sea moss and ashwagandha. Ashwagandha is actually a good one out of all of them. For Doja agrestis and goatweed, there's so many supplements. You don't need to overdo it with all of them. Another thing is, if you take too many supplements, you're at risk of like overdosing. I know there's some people that will take like 2 multivitamins a day. You're only supposed to have 1. You can poison yourself with stuff. My recommendation, 5 grams of creatine a day. If you're over like 90 kilos in body weight and you're built, maybe do 6 or 7 grams of creatine a day, but make sure you hydrate. You don't need to overdo it. If you're sub 80 kilos when you're lean, probably stick to like the 5-6 grams. Ashwagandha is actually good. I take it myself. So I know I just said that, but there's so many things. But anyway, ashwagandha works. The reason Shilajit and sea moss is so wow and everyone's like talking about it is because it contains a load of vitamins. So does multivitamins. Yes, the Shilajit and whatever is going to be like more complex. If you have a varied diet, you don't need half the supplements. If you're supplementing iron, but you're eating like 300 grams of spinach every day, I'm not sure, and you're eating like mincemeat, I'm not sure if you need iron. My recommendation is eat the foods that actually provide you with the vitamins so that you don't have to start buying hella fucking vitamins. Ashwagandha, you're not going to find in your normal food. Get that. Creatine, you're not going to be eating enough red meat. Supplement that. Like cod liver oil, you're probably not going to be eating enough fish. Get that. When it comes to like the electrolytes, magnesium and potassium, all that type of stuff, I say get just a good electrolyte because that's fairs. And vitamin D3 if you're in the UK because we do not get enough sun. You can add enough stuff in your diet so you get a bunch of zinc. You can add enough stuff in your diet so you get a bunch of iron. You can add enough stuff in your diet so you get enough vitamin C. You can add enough stuff in your diet so you get enough of vitamin B. Maybe not all the vitamin Bs because I know there's multiple, but maybe add like an extra vitamin B12 just for your like well-being. But what I'm trying to say is don't overdo it with the supplements. It's expensive. If you have a really good varied diet, that's going to cover most of your things. It also depends on your climate and kind of what you're eating. But let's not overdose on supplements. Hope you guys enjoyed. Comment down like what you want to see me talk about. It can be anything. Be modeling, be lifestyle, be anything. I think I need to put my link tree in here so you guys can see my Instagram and stuff. But yeah.